Please come back, everybody. I accidentally ended the meeting. I hope that people got that. RC, thank you for coming back. My apologies. I was switching computers and I accidentally ended the meeting for everyone. I hope everybody else got the memo. Doesn't feel like I kicked them out on purpose.
I was like, okay, fine then, if you don't want me here. No, just kidding.
Dude, I want you all here. Serious apologies.
No worries.
It's my own fault. Sometimes I get lazy and I don't want to switch out my personal from my professional laptop. So
yeah.
And then I'm already signed in on my professional laptop, which
Right.
is not something I'm supposed to do, but we won't tell anyone. But here's hoping that you pass some of this nice weather that you're having on to us. That would be lovely.
Yay.
I don't know how to invite back Lynn and Jasmine. I hope that they just get the memo that, please come on. Come on back.
They will.
Okay. What trip were you trying to hear about today?
What's the one for Carnival?
Oh, Brazil.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's going to be an exciting trip. Lynn, my apologies. I accidentally stopped a meeting. I'm glad you figured out to just join back in. I didn't mean to kick you out. Thank you for coming back. I hope Jasmine does the same. And I'm excited to start with, RC was just telling me that they are most interested in Brazil for Carnival. So, and that's the trip that we're starting with. So, yay. All right. Well, we're just gonna hope Jasmine gets back in. Thank you so much for being here on this rainy and not rainy some places Thursday night. I really appreciate you guys spending a little bit of your evening with me to learn more about the trips that are coming up next year. I actually wanted to do another information session before RC and I head to Portugal and Spain, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna take a night off and I'm gonna make people wait until after we get back from that trip. And then I'm gonna share the new trips that will probably all be coming out while we're on our trip, RC, which will be exciting. Okay, but without further ado, I do start these information sessions just with a little icebreaker so that I can learn so we can meet each other virtually and I can learn a little bit more about you, your travel wants, needs, wish list of places to go, because my mind is always working and I always want to give people the experience that they're looking for. We're gonna just introduce ourselves. I'll put it in the chat as well after I go. You can tell everyone your name, or what you'd like to be called, where you are calling from, the last place that you travel to. It can be domestic. Domestic travel is just as cool as international travel. And then what is your favorite cuisine? Or if you don't have a favorite cuisine, what's your favorite like snack or your go-to meal?
I can go.
Thank
The
you. You
question.
remember all that? Because I was typing it real.
Oh, not really, but I'll work through it. The last place I went was Philly for the Roots Festival earlier this year, and then my favorite snack is I'm a real sweets lover. Again, my name is Lynn. My full name is Maria Lynn, hyphenated, and from Maryland. What else is there?
And wait, you said you're a sweets person, but what's your favorite snack? Did I miss that?
Oh, I mean, I don't really discriminate.
Oh, okay. Snacks are your favorite cuisine.
Yeah, well,
favorite?
yeah. I mean, if you're thinking cuisine, I'm more of a meat and potatoes type of lady.
Okay.
So yeah, that's me.
That sounds good. I didn't share my favorite snack. Thanks. Yeah, I just put that out there. But I'll go after RC goes. Yeah. I don't even think I did the full intro.
Okay.
Great job, Lynn. Way to be
Yeah,
first.
nice to meet you, Lynn. The last place I think that I haven't gone anywhere since Bali, which sounds sad, but I mean, that was a big trip. So, and my favorite cuisine is anything that I've never tried before that's not beef or pork or dairy. So yeah, I'm open. And then what was another thing we had to say? My name is RC. My pronouns are they, them. You could just call me RC if you don't want to use any pronouns.
If you
What
want to
else?
share where you're calling from.
Chicago.
Awesome. I have not been there in years. I need to go out there when it's not too hot and
You
not too cold.
we would have so much fun.
Okay, all right. Just remember, you said that.
Yeah, somebody else from Blue. I told them that and they took me up on it. So 2 people came since then.
Oh,
Yeah, we've had a good time.
oh, fun. I'm glad. Okay, thank you for that. All right, now go. I'm Lisa. I'm calling from DC. Last place I traveled to was Atlanta. And where I also used to live there too. And my favorite cuisine is I like most Asian foods, but it's probably a toss up between Vietnamese and Thai. So you guys know we're going to Vietnam eventually, just for the food. Selfishly.
All right.
Thank you guys for sharing that information. So tonight we have on our lineup, and I did change things a bit. So hopefully you'll still stick on, even if these 5 places aren't the one that you wanted to learn about the most. But I'm going to wait until the end of October to share the new trips that are coming up at the end of this month. So tonight we'll talk about, we'll learn a little bit more about the Brazil trip, which is in February for Carnival. We're going to Nicaragua for a wellness trip in March. We have a trip to Italy in May, and Bali. We're going again. RC joined us for that trip earlier this year. It was their birthday trip, and we hope they come back for next year.
I will be back.
And the fifth trip we will talk about is the Caribbean cruise. So my first time. I've been on cruises before, but I've never hosted a cruise trip. And I'm collaborating with another queer travel advisor who she has been on multiple cruises with Virgin Cruise Lines, and so she has a great relationship with them and just can help guide us through the process a little bit better. So without further ado, I will share my screen so we can get started learning about our Brazil trip. Okay. Not gonna hang up on anybody. All right, I really hope Jasmine's gonna come back, but I'll send Jasmine the recording. Bad Lisa. Gotta get that together next time. Okay. So RC has been here before. Lynn, this is your first information session, I believe. Okay. RC, I'm sorry if some of this is repetitive. But just good to know. Stuff as you are probably gonna be a trip leader soon enough. And I'll talk more about that a little bit later, Lynn. But Lesbifriends Travel, the goal of the organization is to, it is a company, but I think of it more like a community organization, because that is the goal behind it, really just to create community, build, get to know people, and create safe spaces to travel together and make lasting friendships and relationships. The goal is to provide affordable, exclusive, international and domestic travel for queer people of color, which I've been doing since 2011. It started out as a get together in my 1 bedroom co-op, and it grew to an annual winter trip. Can't really call it a ski trip because not a lot of people went skiing. Everybody was really just wanting to be in the cabin hanging out. Some people went tubing. But last year I branched out, if you will, and I decided to take people internationally, because I have done quite a bit of traveling personally, myself. And I thought, I'm a good planner, you know, this just carries on into the type of person that I am. I'm a, you know, as an organizer, I like to bring community together. I like to do the research that maybe people don't want to do, but they still want to experience the places. So it was kind of just natural for Lesbifriends, the get together and the annual trip to evolve into a community where we can travel together internationally and domestically as well. So I like to call this the Lesbifriends difference, just because I've been on group trips before, both with queer-led groups as well as, you know, just over anyone could come, you know, just a travel company. And I like to, you know, do things differently because I really think it matters, like, you know, not just like the customer service, but, you know, like the bond that you can create by traveling together. So I always vet the places that we're going. I'm not going to put together a trip to some place that's unsafe. Safety first. Even where, you know, maybe queer people aren't as welcomed, or it might be taboo. If people still use that term to describe the queer community. But I do make sure that we are educated, and that we are respectful when we go there. So, you know, we follow the customs and norms of the place that we're going, but we're always going to be safe. I also just try to make people's lives easier by creating packing lists, and detailed itineraries that give you an idea of what to wear when in different places that we're going. Sometimes we have theme nights, and it's kind of fun to just, you know, be a group and, you know, dress up in a similar color or, you know, a theme. So I'm going to tell you all of that ahead of time, so you don't even have to think. You just have to throw it in your luggage. I also provide a community connection in the form of pre-trip group chats. And surprisingly, this group chat for Portugal and Spain trip, which is happening next week, that RC is going on, is not a very chatty group. But that's okay. Once we get on the trip, and even after the trip, people can become a little bit more chatty. I'm not mad at it because I'm on like 20 group chats. So one that's not always going off is okay with me. But we do have that connection ahead of time. There also are information sessions for each trip ahead of time. So you'll get to virtually meet the people that you're traveling with. And, you know, put a face to, you know, a name in the group chat of someone who you're going to be traveling for, you know, 5 to maybe even 10 days with. And events that I like to curate to just keep the community going. Sometimes these will be events that happen before trips, or after trips. Last year, I did a holiday appreciation party with a theme. There were a couple themes. People dressed up. We had a white elephant gift exchange, but people who had signed up for trips, who had never been on a Lesbifriends trip before, they got to meet people ahead of time that they were going to be traveling with, which was nice. I also do roommate matching. So if you're a solo traveler, which most people who come on these trips are, I share, and you want a roommate. You also don't have to have a roommate if you want to pay for a single occupancy room. But if you want a roommate, save a little money, meet a person or two. Then I do send out a tailored roommate matching form, and to the best of my ability, try to match you to share a room with a like-minded person. Also, there are exclusive events. So even for people who aren't ready to sign up for a trip, I do host events in the DMV, and I recently had one in Atlanta, just to, you know, again, create that community. They're mostly social events. house, anything from like a house party to a pride event to a pool party. But I have done some wellness events. We did a sound bowl healing and vision boarding event earlier this year. And then all of the not that everything's queer. I mean, we show up queer every day, right? When we wake up. But I do try to keep in mind, our background and that some people might be curious about learning about the local culture, and what the queers are up to. So I do try to provide ways for us to connect with the local queer community and the different destinations that we go to. And last but not least, there are customized travel guides created for each of the places that we're going to, so that you have a little bit more information about the hotel and you get some suggestions for restaurants to eat. The weather, the most recent one, I even included a playlist, to get people a little bit more excited about our trip to Europe next week. Okay, and now without further ado, we can get into the trip. So then the first trip right now that we're going on, actually no, it's the second trip because I just announced the Colombia trip, which is in January. So the second place we're going to next year is Brazil. We're going for Carnival. As you can imagine, this is a very popular time. I had to book our hotel already and pay in full with no option of a refund because they know these rooms are going to sell out. Like, they're also much more pricey during this time, but I think it's worth it. Like, Carnival is a once in a lifetime experience just to go and see the production and be there with all of the brown energy that shows up for this annual celebration. So we are staying in a hotel, a beachfront hotel, a 4-star beachfront hotel. It's like walk out to the beach in a very popular area. It has all of modern day amenities that you can imagine and great service. I vetted this place. I know people who personally stayed at this place, so it's a really nice hotel that we're staying at. And the area that it's in is very walkable to bars, clubs, shops, eateries, as well as being safe. This is the itinerary. It is subject to change, but everything that we do will at least be comparable. Right now, it's not going to change. If anything, I would just throw in an extra thing or two. But I'm also learning less is more, as RC might be able to attest to. When we were in Bali in June, we were going, and people needed some downtime. So I've built into itineraries moving forward so that you can have your option to do your own thing on a free day or a free afternoon, but still there's something you can do every day. So when we get to any place, I give people an opportunity to check in, get settled at the hotel. The trips do include ground transportation to all of the, both from the airport, the international airport, as well as to all of the activities and excursions on the itinerary. You just have to get yourself to Brazil. That is not included in the price. However, I do one-on-one sessions with people to help them book flights if they're interested in just walking through that process. I know sometimes that can be daunting. So after you get settled, get picked up at the airport and get settled and checked in and explore, the beach, this beautiful beach where we'll be staying. We're going to meet as a group, and we're going to have a welcome dinner. And we are going to probably do intros and set trip intentions because I do think that's important to set the mood, set the energy. I've really lucked out, and I can say like 99% of people who have, come on trips have had great energy, and we're just going to keep that going. We're going to get to 100%. But
yes. Okay,
we're gonna keep that going. But people have great energy, so it's just nice to, be grounded together and, share the excitement of being on this new opportunity together, new experience together. I have been to Brazil once before, but that was 20 years ago and I didn't go to Rio. So I'm sure it's just going to be a whole brand new experience for me. Very excited about this trip. So breakfast is included every day, at the hotel. It is provided. And after breakfast, we'll do a full day tour. So we'll be in a mode like a air conditioned motor coach. But we'll do some light walking as well. Some of the highlights that we'll see are Christ the Redeemer and Sugarloaf Mountain, both very popular places as we explore the city and get to see the local culture as well. Day 3, we're gonna get a little bit of a rest, excuse me. And so you can sleep in if you want. If you want to miss breakfast, you're welcome to sleep in. I do recommend getting your sleep though, because in the evening is when we are going to experience Carnival. And I do like to tell people this because there are different carnivals, right? One of the most popular is Caribbean carnivals, where you go to like Trinidad and Tobago and you have the option of putting on a costume. They call it playing mas in a band, and you get to be in the parade and the celebration. That is a production too, but anybody can join, right? If you pay the money. Brazil's a bit different. We can wear whatever costumes we want, but we cannot be in the parade per se. Like we are going to be in the parade grounds, but the people that are going to be putting on the production of Carnival, they have been training for months. I don't think I know I couldn't keep up with their stamina, but they have routines and, they're putting on a show. Like, look, it's like Las Vegas, but in Brazil. So, I just want to make people aware that you can find whatever costume you want or bring whatever you want, but it's a different type of setup than a traditional Caribbean island carnival. And then you'll see I put optional activities. They are on the website. I can go through some of them, but they're tours. They're mostly tours that you can add on. While I do give you the option of booking through me, I also do recommend like you can book through me because I've again researched. I think these are good options that people might like to do, but also sometimes you just like to get there and see how you're feeling. When we were in Bali, RC and a group of people, we actually had a day planned where we were going on my itinerary, ATVing and e-biking through rice paddies. And there was someone in the group who found a really cool tour, like hiking to a dormant volcano not in the middle of the night, a sunrise tour. And so most of the group wanted to experience that. And so they opted not to do the e-biking and the ATVing, and it was just nice for them to flow. So again, you can decide when you get there, but I do have optional activities available that you can book. Also, I usually create a list on Viator, which is just an excursion platform, and you can typically book those like a day in advance. So there's plenty of options. You don't have to book optional activities ahead of time through me. At some point I will have to have that number, but it doesn't need to be like when you book. You don't need to make up all the decisions. Okay. So we got a couple of days of free time. But again, day 3 is dedicated to Carnival. You'll probably be sleeping on day 4 a little bit as well, because you'll be dancing the night away. Day 5. We're going to have a full day walking tour with plenty of stops, plenty of rest. But we're going to really be immersed in the culture, especially the queer culture of Brazil. Brazil's super gay. I'm so excited to hang out with the gay boys. They're so fun. And we're going to go to favelas and experience the local culture and see how brown people just like us live in Brazil. It's so interesting to go there and see like people who are your skin complexion speaking a completely different language. And unfortunately we'll see some, favelas are like their shanty towns, so we'll see some poverty, but we might have an opportunity to also give back, in those instances as well. And then we'll have a really nice sunset, before heading into our last day where, again, a little bit of leisure with some optional activities. There's like zip lining. There's a night crawl bar hop that I included in as an additional optional activity. That one person who just booked last week signed up for. I was like, are you sure you want to be out 7 hours at night? I'm for it. I don't know that I would name 7 hours, even though I did present this to them, but that's the only thing they're ready to sign up for right away. And then we'll do a game night and a farewell dinner, to round out our trip, before we have to say goodbye and go home. Now, if you're ambitious like RC, you might want to fly in a day early or leave a day later so you can have more time. And I would definitely communicate with you ahead of time the hotel that we're staying at so you could potentially make arrangements there as well.
Quick question, Lisa. Did I miss what are the exact dates again for this one?
Oh, they are, sorry, I'm looking at my calendar. They are Thursday, February 27th through Wednesday, March 5th. So
Okay.
7 days exactly. Okay. All right. And then just a bit of a rundown. I won't be repeating this. This is going to be on all of my presentations, but I won't repeat it. I'm just putting it out there now so everybody knows this is what's included in a Lesbifriends trip: accommodations, this Lesbifriends trip, daily breakfast, some lunches, some dinners, all the activities and excursions detailed in the itinerary. I do describe each of the days on the website. And sorry, we have a lot to go through, so I couldn't like go into detail about one particular activity. But if you have a question or need clarification, you can interrupt me during this presentation or follow up with me after, and I'm happy to answer that for you. Of course, you get to connect with like-minded queer people of color, which is like one of the best parts besides the destination. I do try to curate a destination-specific swag bag, just like little trinkets you might want while you're there. Again, that travel guide and an on-ground team to ensure you have an amazing time. Things that aren't included, you gotta get yourself there. Meals not mentioned, travel insurance. Travel insurance is so important, guys. I say that it's mandatory, but I don't check that people get it, but I might start checking. On a recent trip, someone canceled like the week before the trip because they had a death in their family. And it would have been covered under travel insurance, but they didn't buy travel insurance for me, or from the company that I would recommend them to buy. So I haven't heard back from that person, even though I did offer them like a partial credit on a future trip. I have tried to check in on them, but stuff happens. So,
Oh, I did check in with them like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that was good of yours.
Yeah, they said they were doing, just hanging in there.
Okay, thank you for letting me know.
Yeah.
So yes, medical stuff comes up, but if you ever get just for your own knowledge, if you ever get travel insurance, you're covered from the date you buy the insurance through the end of the trip. So if you lose your job and you booked a trip next year and you can't, or your job won't allow you to take the trip, that sometimes can be covered under travel insurance, or you're having a medical procedure, I was just talking to someone who hosted a trip to Greece, and 2 people canceled the week before because one of them discovered she had cancer and the other got COVID. And they had travel insurance, so they got a complete refund for their trip. But anyway, just also, even if you don't buy travel insurance through my recommended company, I always say do your own research. Google's my best friend. But sometimes your credit card will have built-in travel protection. It might not cover the entire trip. So you just have to check what those terms and conditions are for that credit card. But you know, if you're paying a fee every year for the card, you might as well use some of the benefits. Okay, there's that. And I'm not going to cover your souvenir, so save some money for those as well as some space in your suitcase. Okay, if you wanted to come to Brazil for Carnival, you would start out by paying $100 deposit, and then you would be set up on a monthly payment plan. My payment plans are always flexible because I know things come up for people. I mean, I can't like just take your word that you're going to pay 100% the week before the trip. So we got to have some sort of agreement. But if you want a bi-weekly payment plan, if you want a lump sum payment plan, I offer 10%. If you pay in full when you initially book, you get 10% off. Or even if you want a weekly payment plan, I had a hairdresser who wanted to just send me $100 every week. And I was like, okay, we can work with that. So this is what the prices would look like and the potential payment plans available, where they would start at. And your first payment would not be due until the end of October. So after 100, you pay the deposit, then you would, your next payment would be due at the end of October. All right, any questions about this? All right, I'm gonna stop the share. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Nothing. That's okay.
You sure?
I was just gonna say, like, I completely understand the whole you can't count on, you don't know people are gonna pay a week ahead of time, but I think I am gonna do that. So I don't want to do it a week ahead of time, but like when your last day is, I probably will, just because I play Harriet Tubman for the month of February, and I need to have somebody who can cover my February 27th and 8th if that's a weekday. And right now I don't have an understudy. So by like November or December, sometimes I don't know until January if I have an understudy.
And if there is room, RC, you got it. And I could even fight to get you a room. Right now, we got 5 rooms at this hotel, and we got 4 bookings so far.
Okay. Well, I'm planning to go on this trip, so
Okay.
yeah.
I'm just giving you the specs. That's all I could book because again, they made me pay the whole thing up front. I was like, oh, killing me.
Ooh, Jesus.
I know. Good thing for credit, business credit. Okay,
That's
anyway. Y'all don't need to know the background. Okay, next. Okay, well, I stopped sharing the screen because we have a new person who joined. Hi, Jakira. Jakira, we did a quick introduction. If you wouldn't mind sharing yours. I put it in the group chat. I'll just say it out loud in case you can't see the chat. And then I'm going to add on to it because I always am nosy about things about people. So, RC, and then you can also answer this. I would like to know, where is someplace you've always wanted to go? And what is one of your favorite things to do when you travel? Outside of food. Everybody likes to eat. Don't say that. That's cheating. I'll start. One place I've always wanted to go is Australia. I was trying to do a Lesbifriends trip, guys, but Australia is expensive. We'll see. Maybe 2, 3 more years. And one thing I like to do when I go somewhere is I like to take some sort of class, a dance class, a cooking class, a pottery making class. I feel like that's like the best souvenir I can have for myself is that memory. And if there's a trinket or I have a recipe that I can cook at another time, that's a bonus too.
I'm gonna ask. So I have for the longest time, well, I wanted to go to Spain forever since I was in high school. And then I've wanted to go to Rio de Janeiro. So those are two places. And I also want to go to Dubai and Bali. That's like within the last 5 to 10 years. So I'm getting them all in, I think. Maybe not Dubai, but I'm getting them all in with you. My newest one is Hong Kong that I want to go to. So what I like to do, I'm not a big world traveler. I always had big hopes and dreams, but this is new to me. But you know, within the US, I always like to go to a fancy restaurant and have a glass of champagne. Like that was my thing to do when I travel. Because I feel like I'm rich, you know, if I do that.
That is so cool. Well, I love that for you. And yeah, it does make you feel fancy.
Yes.
Having
Yes.
a glass of champagne at a, yes, and it don't even have to cost a lot. And you're doing pretty good, RC, on this world traveling tip.
Hey, I'm a recent empty nester, so I'm doing it.
You deserve it. Thank you for sharing. Lynn, do you want to go next?
Yeah, with where I would like to go.
Yes. And what is something you like to do when you travel?
Oh, well, to be honest, I don't really travel a whole lot. So I like to say a prayer when I get on the plane and when I land. Or any of my modes of transportation. And I, you know, ideally would like to go um to Bali. So I look forward to that conversation. Um, thanks.
Love that. Thank you for sharing that. All right, Jakira, are you in a space where you can talk and share? If not, I won't belabor it. Peer pressure, peer pressure. No, I'm just kidding. Or you're not. Okay. All right. I feel like, I'm a little long-winded and I don't want to necessarily, I want to share all the things, but I want to also end on time too. So I don't, I'm cramming a lot into a little time. So if I'm happy to present Nicaragua and I can probably do that in 5 minutes. But if nobody's really interested in Nicaragua, then I can also skip that.
Oh, I don't know when it is. When is it?
Nicaragua is in March, the 20th through the
Oh
25th.
no, I can't do it. Okay. I got a job. I be out the country all the time.
I understand.
You could, if you could provide maybe the 2 or 3 minute rundown of the wellness. I think that's the wellness trip.
Yes.
Okay,
I can
yeah.
do that. All right. Go back into my presentation mode and share my screen. All right. And I probably will do this trip again. So it could be something just to keep on your radar for another time. Okay, so we're going to Nicaragua, March 20th through the 25th. It's a great time to go because the weather is amazing. And why we're going to Nicaragua specifically, well, one, I've never been, like, who doesn't want to go to Nicaragua? But sometimes, like there's an algorithm on Instagram, and I came across this space that is owned and operated by queer people of color who want to provide wellness to our community. And so I was like, I reached out to them and we've been talking for like half a year and we came up with a trip together. So this should be really fun because I mean we're going to support them and they're going to support us. And it's a wellness trip overall, but we're going to be also experiencing the culture and having a good time, not just doing yoga all day. Don't worry, I'm not trying to do yoga all day. All right, so we're staying at the Geo Guest House. And actually the space is an intimate space. Their main guest house only has, I think it's 3 rooms. And so they recently expanded and got another guest house that has up to 7 rooms. And not that I couldn't just do a trip for like 4 or 5 people, but I thought it would be nice to, have the entire like setup for just us. So this trip it's about not quite a third of the way sold out, maybe like 25% sold out. And again, really amazing accommodations. All of the houses have, both of the houses, which are in a few minutes walking distance from one another, have pools, amazing views, really unique decor. Um, and yes, where it's like a boutique oasis. So some of the trip highlights, we're going to be doing a cacao ceremony. We are going to be going to a lagoon and doing some healing work. We have a day trip to Granada planned, some beachfront yoga, as well as some deep stretching. We're gonna hang out and listen to some party music on a catamaran. We're gonna do a morning pages writing workshop. Probably lots of dancing in free time. It's really nice that this place has a pool. I don't, it's also just nice that it's all ours. I'm not saying that this goes on all Lesbifriends trips, but RC, you're familiar with the Blue Midnight Swim. So you know how people get down, how queer people get down when
Oh, yes.
so we could get free. When we went to Puerto Rico earlier this year, it was clothing optional. I mean, not really, but a lot of people had their tops off in the pool, in and around the pool. So no sun TMIs if you don't want them. And then a lot of the meals are provided. Again, there's optional activities. There's some downtime. There's some self-reflection time, but we're gonna go into we're gonna also just go in and enjoy the surrounding area. So this trip is a little bit less than going to Brazil during Carnival. For double occupancy, it starts at $17.50, and for single occupancy, $26.50. And there will be a little discount code at the end of this information session to make everybody's life easier if you sign up for a trip. Okay, the next place we are going is Italy. I know Italy's not everybody's cup of tea. I mean, I love Italian food, but I just want to ask before I share that trip, does anybody want to hear about Italy?
I do.
You do, okay, you want to hear about everything else. I'm not mad at it. I appreciate you. All right, let me make sure. I'll do a quick overview of Italy too. So my boo thing, the person I'm dating, just went to Amalfi Coast in Italy, had an amazing time, and I was like, darn it, Amalfi Coast sounds great. But the hotels that she stayed at were $800 a night. I was like, why would I spend $800 to go to Amalfi Coast? Like, anyway, Italy's a little pricey, but don't worry, we're not gonna spend all of our money there. We're gonna spend our money on wine and pasta. So this is a little bit shorter of a trip. I'm trying to figure out like the balance, right? Like, not everybody has a million days of vacation time, myself included. I have a 9 to 5. This is a passion project. This doesn't pay the bills. I need to pay my mortgage. So I got to show up to work. So we're just going to Italy for 7 days, but that will be plenty. We will enjoy Venice and Florence, which are two iconic places to visit when we go to Italy. So the first place we'll go is Venice. Hotels, I mean, I can share with you the hotels, but they're regular, very nice 4-star hotels. Boutique, intimate, good service, all modern day amenities that you would want in very walkable areas. I'm learning things have to be walkable just in case you want to get out and stretch your legs. Okay, this is what we are at. This is actually another pretty gay trip. Can you tell them hello gay? So when we go to Italy, starting on day 2, we'll do our LGBTQ private walking tour. I didn't realize so much artwork was queer inspired, if you will, but we'll go see some things that you wouldn't necessarily have thought to be queer, but they are. So, and these are some of the places that we're going: Doge's Palace, St. Mark's Basilica, Bridge of Sighs. I'm not a religious person, but these are just places that you want to go when you go all the way, you want to see some famous churches. So we're gonna go there. We have some cool optional activities to do, but if you want to just explore, Europe is very walkable. So you can probably just get lost, eating some pasta, doing a pizza making class, making some jewelry. I plan to do all that in my on my free day there. So we're taking a train ride on day 4. And then we're gonna get settled into Florence. I love train rides. They're like, I mean, a plane is, get you there very quickly, but like a train, like, is it's peaceful, and you get to take in the sights. It's like a tour within a tour. I just feel like I'm gonna try to incorporate train rides on a lot of my trips moving forward, and they're super affordable. And plus, you would say like wait at the airport like 2 hours anyway, so why not be in a train in a comfortable setting where you're not squished into one of those earphones? Okay, so we'll get there. We'll do some self-guided tours to walkable attractions that are right by our hotel, and then we'll get to explore some art. Again, I'm not a huge museum person, but these are things that you do when you go to a place like Italy, which has all this culture and history, and we'll have a good time, I promise. We're gonna do a leather working workshop. I thought that would be cool. You might get to like take home a belt or something. And we're gonna do a traditional cooking class. Again, I kind of, and so unless people tell me otherwise, I'm gonna keep having a class in there so we can learn and just go home with some knowledge. And our bellies full. And then we will head home. So this trip,
And
go ahead.
those dates were
The dates are May 1st through 7th.
okay. Thanks.
Okay. So Italy's expensive, like Brazil during Carnival. But I think it'll be well worth it. Probably won't go to Italy every day. You might be able to check this off your bucket list. If not this year, then next year, RC. I think this is a trip we might do again too.
Did you have Greece? Because that's one of my bucket list trips.
So right before this, phone call. Am I still sharing my screen?
I don't see it, but
Were you seeing any of the slides?
I saw some at a
No.
certain point, but a certain
We didn't see any for Italy. I think we saw the last thing we saw was for Nicaragua, but we heard you.
Okay, I am so sorry. Bad Lisa, doing too much. Yes, we may go to Greece this year. We were supposed next year. We were supposed to go to Greece this year, to actually a lesbian festival. They call it a women's festival, but we all know there's 700 people showing up. We're lesbians, right? So unfortunately that trip did not pan out because the accommodations got overbooked. And I was so disappointed. Because I actually had 2 people who signed up, and I was so devastated to tell them I had to cancel. But they were understanding. It was months in advance. So anyway, I just got off the phone with a person who's led a trip there like 2 to 3 years, and she wants like more women of color represented there. And so she's invited our group to come. So there might be a Greece trip being added for September next year. But it's not your traditional Santorini, it's not that type of Greece trip. Maybe I'll do something like that if there's enough of an interest. Okay. So we got Italy down. Italy prices, RC, they started at, they're the same as Portugal and Spain prices,
okay.
just to give you a heads up. But that's why you want to be a trip leader.
And and why I'm about to buy this second property so I can have some passive income.
Oh, even better. Yes, I love that for you. Okay, I'm going to make sure I share my screen, Lynn, for Bali. Since I did not do my due diligence before, my apologies. And since that is where you're most interested in going, And I promise I did not pay RC to be here, but
Let
RC,
me tell you, Lynn, you are going to love Bali.
like, RC wants to go back to Bali. I'm like, there are too many places to go for me to go back to someplace the next year. But
I
more
love
power to you.
it. Was
Um,
a really spiritual, like I loved how much they were grateful. I just really appreciated that.
your next goal should be to live abroad for a little while.
Yep.
You can make it happen. Okay, we'll talk. Okay, so we're going to Bali in June. Sorry, the dates are a little bit off for your birthday, RC, but we're going back to Bali because it was such a great experience. Bali's super affordable, and now that I've been, I can, I have contacts. So just moving forward, it's going to be a better trip. We know what to do, what not to do. And we're not gonna sit in traffic all day. That's what we're not gonna do. There's a lot of traffic in Bali. Okay, so these are actually pictures that we took there. So how cool is this? I usually have to, look for pictures because I haven't been to all these places yet. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit, RC. And so when we first get there, we're gonna go back to Ubud and stay for 4 nights there. But we're gonna stay in a luxury hotel right in the center of the town. So we stayed in a nice location, but it was a little bit further away from like things that you could walk to things, but it wasn't in the mix of things. But now we're going to be in the mix of things. So you can go back to your room and rest and have the serenity and the luxury and get you $30 massage for an hour or your flower bath, as I think RC did. I'm not going to just take the flower bath. But the spa services are very affordable there. So we're going to stay in some great amenities the first half of our trip. And the second half is going to be great too, but we're going to rent a villa for the second half. So we'll get a private location closer to the beach for the second half that we're going to be there. So of course, you're gonna get there, you're gonna get picked up by probably a man whose English is not that well, but he's gonna have a sign with your name on it, and he's gonna take you to our hotel. And you're probably gonna drive 2 miles, and it's gonna take you 30-40 minutes, but it's gonna be a great experience. I can promise you that. I feel like getting to the hotel was an adventure, and late. Anyway, I feel it's an adventure just getting there.
I went late the night before, so I don't think I had the same issue that other people had
Got
because
it.
I came. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna have a welcome dinner. Hopefully everybody will be there to experience the welcome dinner the first day, and we're gonna hang out with some Balinese dancers and enjoy some music. RC might give me their feedback and we might switch this up a little bit, but I really liked the welcome dance. I felt like it was culturally immersive. We got to get up and dance with them, and just have a very, it was an intimate experience the first night. The second day, we're gonna take it easy. So we're gonna do one activity after people because we're gonna travel for 20+ hours to get there, Lynn, just as a heads up. But it's worth it. But I'm gonna let you sleep in a little bit, have breakfast, which is provided by the hotel, and then we're gonna go for a leisurely stroll in the monkey forest sanctuary. Would you keep that on the itinerary, RC? I thought the monkey forest was cool.
Yeah, because everybody needs to experience that.
Yep, the monkeys will come right up to you, Lynn. They might grab a water bottle from your hand, but
Oh, wow.
they might sit on your lap and take a picture. They might steal your hat, but you are not supposed to look a monkey in the eye. So,
Good to know. Okay.
yeah.
Lynn, it's like that cartoon, The Penguins of Madagascar, how those monkeys were so silly. Like they were really like that.
Oh,
Like
this is funny.
for real. Yeah.
And I feel like they wanted attention. Like they would just be laid out in the middle of the walkway, just itching themselves or playing with each other. and you got to walk around them because this is their domain. But yeah, they're the monkey. Everybody should experience monkey sanctuary. It's interesting. Day 3, we're going to go make an offering. This is Yahira, that you see on the top. And we actually made an offering this day that Yadi was dressed in green. So yeah, you really get a culturally immersive experience. I also think it's just great that the Indonesians like are so welcoming of allowing people to enjoy experience this part of their culture. Like I love that about that.
Yes.
Like they're not like, no, this is just for us. Like, no, they want everybody to get purified and yeah, make an offering. So we'll do a purification ceremony. We'll have an offering making. I think this is important to do ahead of time because you're going to see offerings everywhere, and you're going to be like, what do those mean? So we did it opposite. We did that towards the end of our trip. We're going to do it at the beginning of our trip so people can just understand what that means culturally. And I think I have a better appreciation for them, having made one myself. And then we're going to enjoy the palace and the market and do some shopping. Day 4. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to, but if you want to, there's plenty of options of things to do. Some people might want to get dressed up, or there was a really cool, actually it was free. We just had to get ourselves there, but transportation would be included. We went to a tea place and we got to sample teas. That was really fun, and we got to what was that animal that? Anyway, there were animals that could be held. This place that you could have tea, and also people like put on those fancy dresses and did the swings. That's another.
The kuwak coffee bean. That one, that animal,
yeah.
the kuwak. Yeah.
Yeah, Lynn. So this animal poops out a coffee bean. No, they take in a coffee bean, then they poop it out, and then they make coffee with it.
The way they ferment it with their
wow.
Yeah.
I did not drink that.
I heard you say something about the swing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah. It's like a photo shoot. You could spend all day there. It's your own personal photo shoot. And
I would love that.
You can wear your own clothes or you can rent their dresses. It's really fun. And they like the people who work there are very helpful. But if we do this as a group, I plan on just getting someone to be our personal photographer. So we don't have to like wait. So that's a lot of fun, the photo shoot with the swings. There's like 7 different swings and all of them it looks more scary than it is, but it's a lot of fun. And I did have a picture of that on the first slide. Sorry if you didn't see it. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't have it anymore. Okay, so then we get to move to our beach area. This is more of, I mean, both areas are very vibrant and lively, but this, there's the relaxation of the beach, but we also get to be like by the nightclubs and the beach clubs, and which offers a different experience. Where you can hang out all day and just, listen to good music, eat good food. All the food is very affordable in Bali, even the expensive stuff. We'll do a group dinner and get settled into our villa. Day 6, we're gonna have breakfast and then we're gonna go hang out with some elephants at the zoo. We'll get to bathe them. We'll get to swim with them. And yes, that is a photo shoot experience too. Different from the dress though and the swim, but still something you can only say that you did in Bali. Day 7, we're gonna do some beach yoga. We'll have a market visit, and then I think this was one of RC's favorite things was the cooking class on the last full day. RC shined in that cooking class, made a beef dish, even though they don't eat beef.
Yeah, that was a wonderful experience. Definitely keeping all of those.
Okay, we'll keep
Experience.
that on. And then day 8, we'll have breakfast, we'll do a temple tour. Their temples are really beautiful. Everybody, like, they're just so welcoming. Like, you just see everybody from all walks of life there. And it takes a while to get to them, but it's worth it. So we'll do a temple tour. And then we'll have a free night to explore, maybe get some dancing in before we head home on day 9. This is also, I also build in some free time because this is also during Juneteenth, and there is a big Black population who live in Bali, and they do have activities. They organize activities around this time, so I did want to build in time so that we can also mingle with the local community, Black community that lives there as well. So those might be some of the add-on activities that we do as well for Juneteenth celebration. Okay, we'll skip this page because we've been to it a few times and we just gotta memorize now. So for this trip to Bali, we were able to keep the prices similar to this past year and still do like more luxurious accommodations, which I'm very excited about. So if you signed up today or this month, these are what your payments would look like. Much more doable than some of the other payments because we got a little bit more time. But also Bali is just super affordable. Of course, as you know, you're going to pay a little bit more for that flight, but it'll be worth it. Bali's like, again, a once in a lifetime experience. Like, you might want to live there. Okay, any questions about Bali? Okay. I appreciate that. And the last place, if people are, go ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you. I do have to hop off, and I got the information that I needed for Bali. I think I'm going to go ahead and try to sign up. I'm really excited about it. But I'll definitely keep in touch. Thank you so much for the information.
I do send a wrap-up email, and I'll put the code for $300 off in the.
Oh, hey, okay.
I have your information because you signed up via email, so I'll send it out by tomorrow.
Okay, thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Is that $300 off only for Bali, or is it for any trip?
It's for any international trip next year, except. Can
I do Rio with that $300 off?
Yes, you can. However, RC, I have one better for you. For return travelers, I'm giving $400 off.
When you are? Oh, returning travelers, you're giving $400. Wait, so nothing counting for the trip I'm going on now?
I just started this for next year. Sorry.
Okay.
You got $300 off.
I did? No. Oh, because I did 10%. I paid all in full.
Yes. I can't combine them or else I'm gonna be in the
yes. No, that was an excellent one. I was thankful for that because I didn't know at first about that one.
Yeah. So I'm trying to give an incentive, right?
Yeah. That was great.
So pay in full. The $300 is the fall promotion I'm doing. And then but the $400 is for return travelers. So I'll share that with you, whenever you're ready. But I started it like this last trip that I did for next year. So sorry.
No worries. Okay. Sounds good.
RC or Jakara, would you be interested in hearing about the Caribbean cruise?
When is that?
The cruise is it is June 20th to the 25th. So I have
can't do that one. Just getting back from Bali.
I know, you can't do both. And I want you to be my trip leader for Bali. You could be a trip leader for another trip too, but especially Bali, because you have that experience. But if you want to hear about the cruise, I can go through it.
You can go through it and we'll finish.
Okay. I'm sure the people who are going to be seeing this reported will appreciate that. All right. So last place that we're talking about tonight is the Caribbean cruise to Puerto Plata, which is in the Dominican Republic, and Bimini Beach, which is in Bimini Beach, which is in Bahamas. And that's exclusively Virgin Cruise offering that beach setup. Okay. So again, sorry, trip dates, June 20th through the 25th, 6-day cruise. So I've never done a Virgin cruise. I'm so excited about this cruise. Because Virgin cruises, I mean, kids are great, right? But maybe you don't want them on your vacation. So Virgin cruises are Virgin Voyages. Cruise line is adults only, and it's like a luxury brand, and it's also like very queer friendly. So all the bonuses. These are just some of the offerings that they have, but this is an all-inclusive experience. So all of your meals on the ship, you don't have to pay for any of those, which is great. All of the entertainment is included, all of your snacks, all of your soft drinks, all of those are included. So yay, eat up a storm. And the food isn't a buffet style food, it's like made to order food. So you make a reservation and one of their restaurants on board, and you and your group get to sit there and get food that's made to order. So it's a cruise, so we gonna flow, but I do have some built-in things, because you know, we gotta also, even though you can do your own thing, I want it to be a group thing, right? So we'll do something as a group. The first day we arrive, I'll make reservations at one of the restaurants for the group. It will be a big ass table, but we'll all be together. And we'll set trip intentions to get started on the right wavelength. You can have breakfast at your leisure, and they're made to order breakfast facilities. This is gonna be a day at sea. So we're gonna be hanging out, enjoying all that the ship has to offer. There are clubs, there's shopping, there's dining, there's workout facilities. They even have exercise classes. There's entertainment, like all the musical stuff, you know, all the singing and dancing. And then after the first day, we're gonna actually get off of the ship. And so we'll stop in Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. So another place to check off if you've never been to DR, or if you have, it's just like another new fresh place to explore for a day trip. There are excursions that you can book while on the cruise, but if you don't want to, or when you get off of the cruise in the Dominican Republic. But if you don't want to do an excursion, you can just get off and, you know, hang out by the pier and explore that way as well. And some people opt not to leave the ship. Like sometimes it's just nice to have like the ship all to yourself while nobody's there. So you still get all the meals, just with no waits. Day 4, you're gonna get another gourmet breakfast at your leisure. We're gonna be hanging out on the ship again. We'll do more group activities. I probably like organize as a group, but again, I don't want to make people feel obligated to do, you know, to go to one show. So, you know, we'll definitely meet up throughout the day. We'll have, oh, another thing that is great about Virgin is on most cruise lines, you have to pay additional for Wi-Fi. It's automatically included. So you'll still have access to Wi-Fi. Hopefully nobody's gonna be working, but you know, we can at least communicate with one another. And you can communicate with your loved ones while you're on this trip. So more time at sea. And then day 5, we get off in the Bahamas at the sorry, I gotta get that word down. Beach Club. Again, this is a beach club that Virgin owns, and so it's only going to be people from the ship. And if you don't want to go hang out in the Bahamas, you could just hang out here, have drinks, have food, just like a chill, beautiful day at the beach. While we're in port for that day. And then day 6, we will unfortunately have to say our goodbyes. Maybe you'll want to hang out in Miami a day or two later. I like to give myself a day before we get there. when it's time to go, I'm ready to go. I'll probably be leaving when the ship docks. And then we'll say our farewell, but you know, like most trips, people will stay in touch. All right. Our cruise is great because it includes all the food, all the non-alcoholic beverages, all the entertainment. Like, I love cruising, but you just don't get to be in the culture as long, right? But I also feel like a cruise is a great way to preview a place to figure out if you want to go back and spend more time there. So, literally what you would pay for this cruise is what Virgin charges. I do not charge any extra from what Virgin charges. I do ask that people book through me though, so that we can stay as a group. So the prices start based on cabin. And the prices are per, sorry, I have to fix that. The prices are per cabin, not per person. So just ignore that. So if you get an insider cabin, this is what the price starts at. And if you have 2 people in the cabin, you get to split that by 2. Cruise prices vary. I don't make the prices, they make the prices, but they vary like flights vary. So you could I can go to the Virgin Cruise website tomorrow and the price might be $200 more. I don't know. The good thing about this trip is I do offer the same refund policy that Virgin offers. So I believe I put it on the website, but if you cancel, you can take that money and transfer it to another cruise with them, or you can potentially even get your money back. My other trips, I don't have that same flexibility because I'm booking, like personally booking. This Virgin, they're a little bit better than me, but they got it like that. So yes, prices are per cabin. So if you want to have your own cabin, this is what you pay. If you are willing to share it with someone, you'll split that into 5 half. One day I want to get the Mega Rockstar quarters, but not this trip. So I will be in the Sea Terrace cabin, which is right here, which has a terrace, like a balcony. I think it's worth it, a couple $100 extra. But yes. And then, the only thing about the cruise is that you do have to pay 20% for your deposit. So if you do end up booking a cruise with Lesbifriends, this cruise, then you actually are registering for free, technically. And then I will reach out to you and tell you, like, hey, I just checked the website. The price is still what it is on my website. Or I'll tell you, hey, the price has increased. This is the new price. And then you'll have a week to pay that 20% deposit. And then I will pay that deposit to Virgin to get you locked in on that rate. And then, you'll do whatever monthly or bi-weekly payment plan you want for this. But again, these prices are per cabin, not per person. And some of these cabins have up to 4 people in them, but I wouldn't recommend 4 people in a cabin. 2 tops, because it's a cabin. Any questions about the Caribbean cruise? Okay. Well, then I can say my thank you and share the fall special, which has not been released to the public, but it will be. You're special, but everybody still gets it at some point. It's good. I think I'm gonna make it good until the end of November, so you have some time. This would be a great option if you want to pay overtime but get $300 off. Again, this works for every trip except the cruise, because I can't take $300 off what the cruise charges. Sorry. I will email you this code so you have this to use at your leisure. All right. I'm stopping screen sharing and asking if there are any questions.
No question.
No questions? All right, I did my job. But if you do think of a question, feel free to ask. Next info session will be at the end of this month, and I'll share 4 new trips. which I'm excited to do. Yes. They'll also be released slowly over the next few weeks via online. So I'm going to be both on my email, show them email. So be on the lookout. Of course, I want you to come to all the trips, but I understand you can come to all the trips. We've both been on trips, so you can both be a potential trip leader if you're interested. I did put the program on the website, but I haven't announced it yet. It is an application-based program, but I could personally vouch that both of you would be excellent trip leaders. So if you were interested, you know, actually, fast track you. You would just have to let me know what trip you're interested in going on. But you'd have to at least review the program so you understand what it entails. Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you, Lisa.
I didn't hear you, RC.
I just said thank you.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, thanks for being engaging as always. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have you started packing? You are leaving the first. All right. Well, maybe do
I
that
leave
tomorrow.
Tuesday because I leave on the 8th.
I know you're leaving.
Yeah.
I hope you don't got plans this weekend.
Nope. I canceled them.
Okay. Well, I look forward to catching up with you in person. And seeing you on the 11th. And
Same here.
have fun in Porto and safe travels.
Thank
I'll be
you.
emailing you anyway, so you'll get something from me.
Okay.
Okay.
Good night to the both of you.
Good night, RC. Good night, Jakira.